Hello! Welcome back to a new project. Today, I'm going to be doing another Ghibli Lightbox. Specifically this scene here from Spirited Away, where Chihiro sees the bathhouse for the very first time. I was really excited to do this project because it has a lot of details and I love Spirited Away. I basically grew up on it, so this is going to be lots of fun. The first layers I start on are the background clouds. There are a lot of clouds in the background, as you can see, so I do 2 layers of them, and I pretty much just draw random shapes and that's basically it. Then I just cut everything out. And I will say now that I really struggled with getting the orientation of the paper right. When I do these light boxes, I take a picture that I'm copying and I flip it and copy it that way, so when I finish and flip it back, all the ugly pencil lines will be on the back and it'll be the right way. However, that's not what happened here. I flipped the image and after staring at it for a while, it started to look like it was the right way around, and in my brain I ended up getting so confused a bunch of times about which way was the correct way, and it kind of screwed me up a bit later on. Like on this layer here, this is the main layer of the bathhouse, and it's an exciting layer for me because it has the most windows and it has a lot of very tiny details. And after spending many tedious hours drawing and cutting out every single square on every single window, I realized that I did it backwards, which is pretty annoying, but it is also kind of an easy fix. I just have to erase all the pencil lines and there you go. So I just did that, but that was not the end of my struggles with this layer. Now moving on to the roof. It was kind of tricky cutting this out because there were a lot of lines I just had to score, and I ended up cutting through some parts I wasn't supposed to, but I managed to tape those up and then everything was pretty good after that. The next layer I work on is the layer with all the front details, and originally I wanted to have that big tree on this layer as well, but I decided against it so that I could put all the trees together on one layer. But anyways, I really enjoyed cutting all the little details, especially that clover shaped window, and all the letters and wording were all really fun as well. And this is what it looks like with the other layer behind it. It looks pretty good. Then I just made a chimney on its own separate layer, which you see here on the background just poking out as I started working on the next layer. There are only 3 trees in this picture, and the first one I started on is that big one that kind of reminds me of a Dr. Seuss tree. But it was quite simple to cut out. I just had to be careful to make sure the tree wasn't too big or it blocked too much of the building or anything like that. Another 2 trees were even more simple than that. I also had to start the bridge on this layer because the bridge starts right at the entrance of the building, and I'm just doing the bridge in many sections so it will look more dimensional and so I can just put more layers. This next layer is just the wall of the garden, and I decided to cut out all the individual squares on these windows as well, just for that extra detail. And the next part of the bridge was a little bit tricky to figure out because it overlaps those windows, but I managed to make it work so it still looks like it's part of the bridge. So this next layer is just another part of the bridge, which is pretty simple, especially compared to that building. And also the next couple layers are also just more of the bridge. And this layer here is where I want Chihiro to stand. So I just draw her out to the best of my abilities, and I'm pretty happy with her. I think she looks pretty cute. Until I cut her out, that is. So I cut her out, and as you can see here how I'm holding her up, you can see that her legs are in the ground, and I don't like that, how that looks, so I just go in and I cut that layer lower so only her feet are attached, and I like that a lot better. Then I just do one more layer to kind of frame the whole thing, and that's it. Here it is all together, and you might think it's done, but no. If you look closely at the picture, you'll see that there's this little building on the side and that whole entire flag that I forgot. So I get to work and I draw and I cut them all out real quick. And once I was done with that, I move on to adding all the tracing paper. I add some for the water in the background, then a smoke-shaped one for the chimney, another piece for that clover-shaped window, and another two for the garden wall. And then the bathhouse. I take so much care to make sure it's facing the right way and everything, and then I glue on all the tracing paper. Then I realized I glued all the tracing paper on the wrong side, and it was all gonna be on the front, and it was gonna be all ugly, so it was very sad. So I had 3 options: either leave it and let it be ugly, redo the whole entire layer, which I did not want to do, or try to fix it. And I chose option 3, so I tried to scrape off all the tracing paper with a little knife, and I glued onto the other side. In retrospect, I probably should have just left it. It doesn't even show when the lights are on, but I thought it would kind of be ugly, so yeah, whatever. Then I just glue all the little extra pieces like that little building and the flag in their places, and it's ready to assemble. As usual, I pre-cut all the foam board strips for this, so I just get started gluing, and the only main important thing to mention is I do a double layer of foam board between the clouds and the background and then the building. And once I finish, I put it in a box, and it is done. And here it is in all its glory. I'm really, really happy with it. I think all the time spent on all the details really paid off, and I think it's my best looking light box so far. And I'm just really happy with it. And yeah. If you enjoyed watching, subscribe, comment, whatever. And if anyone is interested in a custom light box, just email me. It'll be in the description. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!